With a title of a film that has been reused a very lot over the years, I'm here to tell you this is certainly one that you want to stop what you're doing and check out. I don't know about the other ones, but for a fact, I really enjoyed this one. And without further ado, I'm very excited, so let's jump into the review of the new film, Ride. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film Ride, which is going to be in theaters and on demand June 14th. So this guy Jake Allyn, you may have never heard of him. He's done some work for sure, and his last name, we'll talk about it in a second, but he's the director, the writer, producer, and actor in this film where he is making his directorial debut. And Jake, I've seen his work, because Jake comes from a family of filmmakers. So his last name, Allyn, spelled Allyn, is a name that you may have seen around. But nonetheless, I was super excited to check this one out because, you know, I think it hit me at just the right time because I'm truly not a fan of Westerns. Like, it's just never been the genre that I've ever really grabbed. It's really grabbed my attention or I've been able to connect with. And like, sure, you know, I've seen them. And there's some that I will say that I enjoy, you know, when there's Yellowstone out there in terms of a series, and Outer Range as well. And obviously, you know, Tombstone, which I feel like are all defaults. I feel like people who really, really love Westerns, they will probably never name any of those, right? But nonetheless, I checked this out and it did not disappoint. In fact, it's really good for a lot of reasons. I think the first thing I want to start off with is the music. I was blown away by the score and the soundtrack of this film, to the point that I went and looked it up, and and lo and behold, Bones Owens and Those Who Ride with Giants are behind bringing the music together. So like, you're getting some original songs on this, and overall you're just getting just music that just elevates so many scenes that the soundtrack, which is available, is definitely probably worth a listen. I haven't listened to it beginning to end, but for what it does for the film, I know the soundtrack's got to just be great standing alone, you know? But ultimately, I'm going to tell you that, like, this film is good because it has a lot of heart. It's just the way how you connect with these characters. And really quickly talk about the synopsis here is 3 generations of bull riders fight to raise money to transfer the family's young daughter to a better cancer hospital. Set in Stephenville, Texas, Ride explores rodeo, addiction, and the Heartland, and the cowboy's place in modern America. So listen, I'm telling you right now, I have not been a fan of Westerns, but this film did not disappoint because I think the element of just seeing what a family would do in order to protect one another, and in this case, raise money for their daughters, it's hard for you to not want to root for them. And while they could be listed as the anti-hero or whatever it may be, it's just hard up and down the board. And let's just start off with Jake's character, Peter, who is an addict. He gets out of jail. He's trying to, you know, get his foot back, get back on the right foot. But at the same time, too, he's struggling with addiction. He's a bull rider, and if he can, you know, keep his head on straight, he's probably one of the best bull riders that they've seen, you know, and he comes from a lineage of famous and well-known bull riders, which in this case, this is where the cast gets real interesting. His father is played by C. Thomas Howell, who plays the character John Hawkins. C. Thomas, come on now. He not only does he have a personal background to this scene, but like just from his resume of work, this is an all-star casting right here for Jake in his film, in his directorial debut. And John is married to Monica, who's played by Annabeth Gish, which is like, come on now, and she's a cop. And with that, listen, understanding that her son is a convicted felon, and her trying to withhold the law. You know, you can imagine that there's going to be some interesting dynamics between the two of them. And then going back to Peter, his grandfather is Al, played by Forrie J. Smith. Legendary. So listen, just that alone tells you, like, the core family here, there's just so much acting within it, but there's so much dilemma between all that. And I don't want to give anything away, but you're going to see every character made very difficult decisions, all for the sake of the daughter or the sister, Virginia or Jenny Hawkins. You know, it's all going to be explored. And I think that what I like about these characters is that they give you so much reason to root for them, but they give you so much time to connect with them. And honestly, I would be extremely happy if they can iron this out for a sequel, because there's so much that they build that they leave an extreme amount on the table. Like, you want to know what's next, even the cliffhanger at the end. And like, there's little things about these characters, like if you really dive deep into some of these characters and understanding their mindsets and trying to get behind some of the decisions that they make, like, there's so much more to explore. So like, they really build these characters very, very strong, to the point that you want to see what's next. You not only want to see what's next with them, but you want to see what's more in Stephenville, Texas. Like, you want to see more about this community. But with that being said, listen, there is the cinematography, especially with some of the bull riding, which they don't dive too deep into, but when they do, like, the action shots are cool. The cinematography feels very epic at times. Again, when you talk about like the score and the soundtrack, how they make all these scenes come together, it's like a beautiful canvas of artistry, you know. But I think as well too, like the film explores like prayer and faith, and I also think like the movie it talks about family, and it talks about just how far family is willing to go in order to protect one another, and it's all there. So listen, Ride out of nowhere comes out to be one of my favorite films this year. I'm just blown away. It really has me rethinking about potentially some of the other westerns or anything dealing with cowboys that I may have not given the time, just because I was never really fond of the genre. But this one changes my mind. And I also just want to say too, Jake wearing all of the hats, he does a fantastic job. And for what it's worth, his acting, he completely transforms. This character, and Peter, he's a character. He's a little bit of an enigma. But like, at the end of the day, you actually really like this guy. You know, you really like this guy. And it's like a liking that you never expected to have. But here you are. And like, I want to see more with the story with them. So listen, this story is going to have a lot of things going on. And with that too, I mentioned like a lot of like the heroic, like the family aspect and like the anti-hero aspect. There's also like a murder mystery factor in here too. Like, there's a crime that happens, somebody's killed, and it is, you know, the town is trying to discover who's behind it. So like, there's a lot that goes on in the film, but it's one hell of a ride. I know it's a pun, but I couldn't think of anything else to say. And without a doubt, this is a film you want to check out. So whatever you do, absolutely make sure that you put this on your watch list. Ride. It comes out in theaters and on demand June 14th. I would highly recommend to see this in theaters. It's a very, very, very solid film. Also brought to you by the good folks at Well Go USA. So listen, go check this out. Fantastic acting, an amazing story, to the point that you're going to be left wanting more. And for a fact, the film leaves you with a cliffhanger that you're like, I need more. So that's a good thing, you know. But yeah, check it out. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this one once you do. And as always, stick around for more reviews and content here at Big Gold Belt Media very soon.